Okay, so I'm messed up in filming my introduction in portrait mode, so that's why past Max in the future is talking now instead of then, and why I'm explaining this so eloquently right now. So, zoop. What's up? How are you? Are you doing well today? Are you talking back to your phone or your TV, whatever thing you're watching this on? Yeah. Yes, Max, we are. Cool. Well, yeah, that's kind of, yeah, we're gonna have a conversation today. I'm super stoked. Don't have a lot of time, but it is nice doing these conversations because it's less of me talking. And like I said yesterday, I said, like, gotta be in the right zone to do this, you know, like, and the person that I'm calling, they have to be in the right zone to receive a call. And they don't know, like, to have, like, a good conversation, both parties need to be, like, about it and down and stoked. So, like, I want people to want to do this with me. I don't want people to be like, oh man, I gotta talk to Matt, or they have anxiety about it. Like, we won't do it. If it's not good, I can cut all of this. Editor Max has the power. We have the power. So yeah, if you're thinking about being on the show and you're like worried that you might say something, same thing, I'll cut it out. Like, if you don't want part of your public life or part of your private life in the public or on my YouTube, whatever, then we'll cut it. If there's something you don't want to talk about and it comes up, then it's no good, I'll cut it out. And yeah, I'm super stoked today because guess who's in my DMs? Go on, guess. That's right. You guessed it. Kyle Handsome said he wants to do the show. He actually said that he was thinking about doing it, and then, like, he saw that I asked him, and it was like destiny, his words. So, super stoked to do that, because I basically, like, I manifested that. Yeah, I made that happen. And I was thinking about it, so it's going to be, that was one goal, but it's the Kyle trifecta. I started with Kyle number 1, Humbly Savage, and then we're going on to Kyle number 2, Kyle Handsome, and then we're going to Kyle number 3, the Big D Dorkson, the creator of these beautiful boards that I love so much. I would love to talk to them. How cool would that be? Yeah, that's what I'm manifesting from now on. I've been, really stoked about this. It's always so, like I was saying earlier, both parties need to be stoked on it. If you don't want to, like yesterday, I was like, man, I was talking too much. I don't want to be talking today. I just want to be writing. So I have to want to be in the right mood. And then, yeah, hopefully everything's going on good in these people's lives. And planning this, like, ideally, or like in my head, it's still a really cool idea to do like the shred. Like, I'm shredding and they're shredding, and I edit it together. So it's like a cool way of watching the conversation. Unique and, cool. But that takes a lot of coordination. They have to be ready to ride. They have to have a camera outside of their phone so that they can still talk. And fortunate, because a lot of people in the one-wheel scene have Insta360s and all these cool toys. But my point being, it's harder to coordinate that kind of thing. So I'm just stoked to be doing it. This is how I want it. Like, also, it's kind of a stressful thing to think about. Like, how am I going to edit it so it looks good? But when I'm doing these phone calls or FaceTimes or whatever, like, I can do this. I did it. I'm doing it. This is it. It happens. Or I got to get set up, but, like, I know how. So yeah, I guess something I'm scared about that I need to work out, and I will. I think, like, for Kyle Handsome, I should do that. Calling him Kyle Handsome, that's my little inside joke I have with him. We have inside jokes now, and I gave him my number, and we will coordinate a time where it can, like, work out. I would hate to, like, I feel like I should learn from the Jeff Adair episode where he was like, hey, I just got home. Are we doing this now? So, this next person, let me just go. So, before we go any further, I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name. It's been too long. I'm gonna ask him when I call him, but sorry, bro. It's gone on too long. I don't know how to say it. His handle on like Facebook and Instagram is SGreg SGreg. I've heard people call him different things, but like just like a little, I like didn't really totally get it. So I'm gonna ask him how to pronounce it. But yeah, I'm sorry. And his last name is like, it's like a European sounding thing that I'm not familiar with or I've heard before. So also, if I've shouted you out on the show and I pronounce your name wrong, like I'm sorry. That's like part of this package. I'm sorry, dude. Like it's like face blindness. Like some people like forget names or whatever. It's like that, except pronouncing them. That's what pronunciation dumbness syndrome. Soft brain, big is what I have. So yeah, I'm gonna call him up. Super stoked to give him a little bit of intro before I do it. He's this badass dude. I think he's like 53, and he's like got so much energy and positive vibes, and he's out there ripping so hard, just as hard, if not harder, than the young dudes. Love to see it. And he's got a lot of interesting stuff to say. So yeah, that's why I wanted to talk to him. Also, I should mention, yeah, so I'm like trying to plan this stuff with people. I'm reaching out to these people, and it's hard to plan. Like I say, like I reached out to J-Drop. Shout out J-Drop, Jonathan Ortiz, racer, who, when I asked him if he was like, yes, absolutely. And then he's like, okay, I can do it like Tuesday at 6 p.m., like his time in Texas. It's these different like time zones, and it's hard for me to do this like with my kid. And yeah, 6 p.m. is like 7 p.m. I might be able to like sneak out like a dog walk and have a conversation with him. But I need to figure this out and how to do this with different people like that are in California. Like, you know, maybe this isn't a good time. Maybe this is when Kyle Hansen wants to have his breakfast bowl or read his book in his kitchen nook, or I don't know. But that's what I want to find out. And yeah, so I'm like half dressed. Someone wrote like, what the hell? Also, check out my cool shirt. Shout out TJ. I got this for me and for him. Yeah, I love couple wear, or just like friendship stuff. His name's TJ. My name's Max. That's the joke. I don't need to explain that, do I? It's obviously really cool. But yeah, this I do need to explain. It's like really warm. It's like 70 degrees, but I need to have stuff to like clip this to, something substantial, I feel like. Or else it's just gonna fly away. So I'm gonna get like some kind of runner's purse or something to clip it to, but in the meantime, I'm just gonna wear this. I might have big sweaty pit stains, but that's just what this is, right? This shit's real. Okay, so I'm gonna get set up, and I'm gonna call him, and we're gonna do this. Okay, BRB. Okay, so yeah, hopefully this doesn't blast you guys. Still kind of working this out. That was annoying. That was really annoying to me, so I know it was annoying to you. So yeah, I'm sorry to everybody watching this for that. I'm still working this out. And Wi-Fi missed FaceTime call. Uh-oh. All right, let's see if I can test this with my wife FaceTiming me. Okay, seems like it's ringing.
Hey, I butt dialed you.
You butt dialed me. All right. Well, thanks for testing my thing. Do you want to say anything to the Shred Diary?
Fuck Shred Diary.
Hey. All right. All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Okay. I gotta answer my wife when this happens. That's another thing. Like, this could be all ruined by something like my wife calling me and me being like, ah. Okay, so maybe I'll put this in my pocket like this. This is kind of how I imagined it. Like this. I'm going to clip it to my shirt also. Alright. Oh, you're welcome.
Is it a microphone?
Yeah, you like it?
That's cute.
Thank you. She says it's cute.
Huh?
You said she says it's cute.
No.
She says it's cute. I was about to say it feels like a nipple harness or something. Alright. So, yeah, I'm just going to get set up and then I'm pretty much set up. Maybe I'll text Greg. Or should I just call him? I'll text him. I'll say, yo, pretty much ready. Okay, bro. Pretty much ready if you are. Wow. Look at how prepared I'm being. Huh. I'm so proud of myself. Are you proud of me, Editor Max, in the future? Okay, so let me put my sound on so I can hear him. Oops. Why did I just turn off my board? Idiot. Idiot. Alright. Oop, yep, that's the noise of it working. So yeah, Greg was really cool about this. Oh, FedEx is here. Let's see. What do they got for me? Something good? Is this my buddy? I have FedEx buddies because I gave them all one wheel, or not one wheel, gel blasters. Hi, buddy. What's up, man? How you doing? Good. Might be the Chewy box? Maybe it's the Chewy. I'm sorry, I was trying to help, but I don't know. I said maybe it's the Chewy box if you were looking for it. Yep. No. Alright, I'm gonna roll out. Thank you though, bro. You having fun with the gel blasters?
Huh?
Didn't I give you gel blasters last time?
Yeah.
Yeah, having fun with those?
Yeah.
Good. Alright.
I like it.
Have a good day, man. I hooked them all up with gel. Alright, maybe I should talk about Gel Blaster. What is Gel Blaster, Max? They sponsor one of these races that I do, Oak City Shred Fest. And it was like part of this marketing campaign where they gave away something ridiculous, like 100,000 of these things. More than that? 500,000? And woo! And so basically, I gave out over 400 of these things. I got 3 shipments. I still have some. If you need any and you're watching this and you don't have one and you want one and yeah, you pay for shipping, I'll send you one, no problem. And they're basically like the little pellet gun things, except they're cooler. I guess I should really try a good job in promoting them, right? They're awesome. They're going to be the next Nerf household name. They're coming out with like really cool gun. They're biodegradable. You can turn the power down so it just kind of feels like an annoying flick, or if you're like I found out the bad way, if you're like close range and get shot, they it hurts, it stings. I was like changing my shirt afterwards. Oh, that's probably Greg. I was changing my shirt afterwards, and I thought I had like ringworm or something because there was just like all these circle welts all over me. Okay. Let's see. Let's go, he says. Alright. 1 second. I feel like, yeah, the other times I did this, I was holding my gloves the whole time, which was not great. Okay. But it's hard to do with these. Alright.
Hey Max, what's up, bro?
Yo, how's it going, man?
It's good, man. It's good.
So,
I've got you in the headphones in my ears, and I actually just put on my shoes because it's way too nice to not go ride my board around a little bit.
it's like 65 degrees here. So where do you live?
Yeah,
You're in Maryland?
yeah. I'm in Maryland, Laurel, Maryland, which is, gosh, I'm probably 30 minutes from Baltimore as they call it up here.
Awesome. Do you like Baltimore?
And I do. There are days I do. There are days I'm not so sure. Just safety is first priority. I used to
Right.
hear in the old YouTube videos that I watched.
Have you seen
So,
are you familiar with the show The Wire?
oh no, I'm not. I'm not.
It's on HBO. It's really good. It's about the Baltimore like heroin dealing scene and the cops and the
Oh
kids that
wow.
grew up in it and journalism, and it's a really good show. The first couple
Oh wow.
episodes are
Okay.
really boring, and yeah, it's interesting to me how many people I've talked to that are like Baltimore people, like Sarah Sleepy and stuff, that like haven't seen the show and like don't want to see it. But it's
Yeah.
funny because
Yeah.
it's like about it's about where you live, and
Right. Right. Of course. Of course. Nobody wants to hear bad news about that kind of thing.
right, totally.
uh,
So before we get any further, I'm really sorry, but I need to clear something up with you, and that is
okay.
the pronunciation of your name.
Oh.
So
Okay.
because everywhere I'm seeing, like, I've heard people do it different ways, and I feel like I've known you too long at this point, and it's an embarrassing thing to ask someone that you've known for this long. But I'm tired of calling you hey bro or hey man, so I want to.
Oh no, it's okay. Please do not feel bad at all. There's a little bit of a story behind why my name is what it is,
All right.
and it has to do with a previous Facebook account, and I couldn't create another one with my real name,
Okay.
so I just picked a letter, and S is actually my middle initial. Scott
Okay.
is my middle name, and it was SGreg Swelch, I think, or just SGreg.
Uh huh.
And so that began that entire insane kind of thing, but it separated me from some ignorance that I didn't necessarily want to have in my life anymore, if that makes sense.
No, so
Um,
I do the same thing. That's like my name isn't Maxl Rose, right? That's
right?
it's the same thing. Well,
Well, tell me,
yeah, it was just I didn't
yeah,
want people from high school to be able to find me on Facebook, and I've been pretty like besides this shred diary thing, 10 years before this, like I just like wasn't on the internet. My face wasn't on the internet, and it's been a
yeah.
funny thing now. People like Bart and Christy Miller were like, we've been calling him Maxl. Is his name Maxl? Like Max? What is his name? and and I have like yeah, it's interesting the way that stuff changes when you become more in the public eye. And
Right,
yeah,
of course.
for you, I remember like when I first met you, it was at almost a year ago at Oak City Shred Fest, and you were like, I had been following you online before I met you,
Right, okay.
and you had this, you and Canada Dave were just building this huge box that was just like,
Uh-huh.
and you just had so much pride and joy exuding from you all the time, but especially like when I
Yeah,
first met you. And that's why I wanted to
I
talk to you
appreciate
too,
that.
because I love how in like the one wheel scene, or like, you do your thing where you're like good morning and like I love you, and you're drinking your coffee
Right,
and starting the day like
right.
that. And yeah, I feel like that's such a nice thing that you're like putting out in the world. And
I appreciate that. I
I
really do.
appreciate
I
you,
really
dude.
do.
And I wonder,
I,
like,
you know,
so much so that, like, when you're not posting those, I'm like, oh no, is he okay? Like, why is he not having a good morning? Did he not get his coffee? Like, a lot of these
right?
internet people, like, I'm invested. Like, I want to know what Bonnie or BJ? She goes by Bonnie. Is that right?
Bonnie. Yeah, she goes
Bonnie.
by Bonnie. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
love Bonnie. So is she gonna watch this? Do you think? If I tag her in it, will she
Absolutely,
think? All right.
absolutely. She'll love it. She'll love it. She
Awesome.
actually, and correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't you give out 4-leaf clovers?
Yeah, I'm that guy for sure. I made sure she
Of
got
course,
one.
I'm making sure. Yeah, I wanted to make sure because I didn't want to. I wanted to make sure that was you, but I thought it was
Right.
because she still has the 4-leaf clover. She cherishes that.
Do you not have
That
one?
you
Do you
gave
need
that
one?
to her.
What about you?
You gave me one. I'm not sure what happened to it because, bro, part of
Uh-oh.
the thing is no,
No.
nothing bad at all.
No, I mean it might be. You don't know the consequences of losing one of those. Okay,
No,
so if you don't
no.
have one, basically what you're telling me is that I need to send you some new ones. So I will do that.
Yeah,
You got to put one in you got to tape one to the foot pad of your trick board, and you got to put
right.
one in your phone case. I'll send you guys a whole cluster.
Yeah, no, that would be beautiful. Okay, I'm not going to say no to that.
Word.
Part of what is going on, I think, this year in the in the events and stuff. I think I'm gonna not compete this year.
Okay.
And
Are they getting you to announce or judge?
well, that is what my goal is going to be. I'm still I'm going to Oak City.
You're gonna
And I
judge
don't
that.
know.
You're judging the trick comp at Oak City. That's your goal. We're setting that goal into motion by doing this right now. It's gonna
I'll
happen
take it.
for you. Is
I'll
that
take
what
it.
you want? That's something like I want to talk about on the show with everybody. Like,
That's what I wanted. That's what I was
good.
going to ask you. Is I don't know when you want to start recording, but
Oh,
whenever
we've been
you.
recording, dude. It's happened. This is it.
You're a smart, wise man. I appreciate it.
Also, one thing I said, like with Jeff Adair too, if there is you're a man in the public eye, and if there's things that you don't want to talk about, or like stuff that we say, whatever,
Yeah.
like this
Yeah.
isn't
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
like one wheel, And I feel like so when I
Right.
got
Right.
with Jeff Adair, for example, he's like the one wheel part salesman. And he was
Yes. Of
totally
course. Of course.
cool about it, but I had to make sure, like, this isn't just all one wheel. Like, I want to talk to you about your family and,
Right. Yeah.
love and life and your goals and your dreams and your struggles and,
Yeah.
your day and how you're
No.
doing. And so,
Of course. Of course.
yeah.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah. Well, back to what we were talking about. So and this ties into the 4-leaf clover too, though, bro.
Okay.
Okay.
No, thank you for keeping me on track. I'm notorious for
Of course.
cutting people off mid-sentence and then not letting them finish, or not me finishing a thought.
No, of course, of course. What I've realized is that there's a level of going to a festival of just enjoying being at a festival that I haven't got to experience yet because how tunnel vision and focused on competing I was.
Yeah, what's that like? I have no idea. Do people enjoy going to those things? They hang out. They're able to like party during the
Yeah,
day.
bro.
And
Yeah, so it is probably the closest thing to these rave festivals and party festivals you see, but it's everything. And this is what I always said about one wheeling. Everything is like it's the crazy insanity that we remember when we were younger, but it has bubble wrap on it now. Because we're all a little bit older now.
Right.
We don't want to be mean to each other, man. Hey, I love you, and I want to see you succeed as an adult because I'm an adult who wants to succeed as well, and that's what makes it different in my mind. Just the support,
Absolutely.
love that everybody gives.
How do you do? So that was another thing I was curious about. Like, are you like I think you're like 10 years older than me or something. But I ever since I got my one wheel, I don't think I've had like not an injury. Like I've always had like a scraped knee or a fucked up shoulder, and I'm like taking ibuprofen like every day. And like, what's the secret to just like falling good or like?
So I'm gonna tell you because you probably don't know this, but I have had surgery on my knee. I've had surgery on my right arm. I've had injections in my right knee because the cartilage is not the cartilage, but the stuff that is in between it is gone and doesn't exist.
Is that from years of skating and abuse landing on your body?
Yeah, years of skateboarding, And then I got in, before I was in the one-wheeling, I actually played soccer, and I was a goalkeeper. And so that, in and of itself, I mean, I threw myself on the ground, and I'm the kind of person I don't think I have the speed other than just send it.
Right.
So I did that in playing soccer, and I mean, I excelled in soccer how I've seen and been allowed to and encouraged to excel in one-wheeling, similar. And then I got a coaching license for soccer. I actually went to school for coaching goalkeepers, and I got to coach some international college keepers at one point in that, that world.
Wow.
So I taught people how to fall, if that makes any kind of sense.
No, totally. That's how you in sports in general, like you can't be the star athlete forever. You got to like figure out if you're going to be a teacher or like especially with one wheel,
Exactly.
something like this.
Yeah.
You want to do this. This is something you want to do into your twilight year, or for me at least. I see myself that old guy on the whatever GT 4229, you know. And but in order to do that, you gotta you can't waste yourself. Like I feel like I minimum am wearing a helmet and wrist guards, or like at maximum pretty much. And but
and then
yeah.
when you take into account that one-wheeling is just getting faster and faster. Okay, so here's where I am going to differentiate from the direction that I see one-wheeling on the competitive extreme sports level that I am a part of and pay attention to. I can't say that it's everything, but
I have heard you say that you were thinking about racing, though.
No, that was very short-lived, and I probably had a few drinks that day.
Okay. Well, I would fucking root for you as a legend or whatever you do, man.
Bro,
all of it.
I so much appreciate that. It really does mean the world to me, the support and love that from you. But no, man, the tricking thing, and this is going to circle back to why this year I think is going to be different for me. So I grew up skateboarding, right? I took up skateboarding when I began to want to find some kind of identity as a teenager, as a rebellious teenager, and I got into it. And, me and my friends, we got pretty good at it. I got sponsored by a couple of shops, one local and then one that was in another state. And
this is in Maryland?
No, this was in Tennessee.
You grew up in Tennessee, right?
I grew up in Tennessee. Grew up in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I'm a Southern boy, but I don't necessarily claim it. Anyway, growing up, I don't know how else to say that.
No, yeah, absolutely.
So, and no offense to any Southern boys, because I love them. I see you out there on the one wheel, and it makes me jealous that I didn't one wheel when I did live in the South.
Dude, yeah, they've got a really good crew out there.
Yeah, there's some crazy stuff. I saw somebody posted Chattanooga, which is my hometown, man. That's where I grew up riding the skateboard. So anyway, so I got to the place of being competitive and having competitions, and this is when skateboarding was in its kind of birth on the scene back in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is this is the 85?
Yeah. And so I competed, and I traveled around and did that, and I won contests, but I never got a first place. And I could list for you the places that I got because I remember, but I won't do that. But anyway, and then I, kind of skateboarding and life happened, and I didn't compete as much anymore, and I got involved in helping build skate parks. I turned 30 years old. My wife got me a board, and I had a kid on a scooter wipe me out in a skate park. And the next day, it was very hard to work. And I said, I can't do this and put food on the table with the kids. Yada, yada, yada. So I never got a first place in a competitive skateboarding event, right?
You're hungry for
the
it.
one wheel.
No, you're hungry.
The one wheel, and the first day I ride it around my block, I come back home and I'm crying. This now is in Maryland, and I am 50 years old. So soccer is no longer a part. Right. I'm camping. I had been camping through COVID, and it was after COVID. And I get on this one wheel. I come home, man, and I'm crying. And my wife's like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And what had happened was everything from skateboarding that I had put away, all of a sudden, it was like unlocking Al Capone's vault.
Mm-hmm.
And inside of it, it wasn't empty, bro. It was full of treasures and stories and feelings and training that had been there dormant for, 20 years. And and then a month later, somebody said, "Come with us to Float Life Fest."
Oh, cool. And that's what real sucked you in. That's so. I feel like, do you still have old like skater friends and stuff that are like into this stuff, or that are just into skating?
I do have friends that I skated with back in the day that I'll see them on my Instagram from time to time, and I chat with them and encourage them. They got to get on a one wheel. They got to get on a one wheel.
So I'm that guy too. For all my friends that aren't one wheel friends, I feel like it's a fine line. Yeah, like I want, especially the skaters. Like I want to bring them into this to find that. And but so like the other day, do you know Bob Reynolds? He's kind of like a North Carolina famous old. He's about 50 years old too, skater dude.
Okay.
But yeah, he was like saying like he was like really liked it and he thought it was cool, but he didn't want to try it. He was just a one-trick pony, and I'm like telling him, like trying to sell it, like no, like you don't have to push. It's like great for older skaters, and like this would be like you could kill it. That like I feel like a lot of these guys would be so good, like the board sport advantage,
They would. They definitely would. You're absolutely right. And this is one of the reasons I go to the skate park whenever I get a chance. One of the greatest feelings in my life is going to a skate park that has a bunch of skaters. You feel the look of, oh, what the hell is that, man? What, I have several things that kind of don't work in my favor. First of all, I'm 53.
I was gonna say you're the elder ripper. I feel like if I saw you, just like you're the elder ripper showing up to a skate park with a one wheel, and everyone else is like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
But then you actually rip really hard, and then you like, I'm sure you get their respect.
That's the best feeling in the world, is when you can go in there and earn that respect from these skaters, because I remember what it felt like to be the skateboarder, and so I really enjoy and have come to appreciate it. And when you do that, the next thing is they want to ride the one wheel.
Right.
And so I love going and just opening them up to see that there are tricks that can be done on this thing that you may not have seen before. So hold off on your judgment a little bit, because there's an envelope that I love pushing. Mm-hmm. It's what made me build the ramp, the structure, the thing that you said at Oak City. That was
right.
That
is
was
there neighborhood skater kids being like, oh, hey, what is this guy doing? What's this? Yeah. Love that.
Yeah. But the thing is, what makes it different is I can do it, and it doesn't have to be on pavement.
Right.
You can set it up in the yard and do it there. That's the difference. Well, that's not the only difference in skateboarding. There was one of the big differences for me in skateboarding was that with skateboarding, you have to push to get your momentum and then set your feet. And then by the time you set your feet, you're almost at the place you have to do your trick. So the difference is the one wheel, I get to set my feet and then go to the trick however far I want to take to think about it. So the timing I have to think about a trick is much better and easier for me, being an old geezer, than on a skateboard.
No, I see that. And you also, more so than other riders, are thinking about all parts of your foot. Not like just like your toes. You're thinking about each single one of your toes and your heel and like the base of the foot where you're pushing it. You told me that, or I heard you talk about that in a trick clinic. And I do that when I'm not necessarily doing tricks, but I like to like push. I'm thinking about my foot position and my toes and the work that each one of them are doing to make the things happen. And I think that was a cool way to Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's a cool way to. I just did a really
Yeah.
sick drop too when I said that, so that's gonna be a cool clip.
Nice.
And
Nice.
I was curious about like, so you said like you were a kid, and there's these kids, and these kids are all stoked out. And so when you were a kid, were you were watching the Search for Animal Chin Powell Peralta video and getting
Yeah.
super stoked out, and that was
Uh-huh,
like
uh-huh.
your. Did you like pretend that you were Tony Hawk, and then watch it
yeah.
and go rip?
That video, man, that video is kind of what shaped us as skaters. I remember when it came out, and we all, I wish I could say we skipped school because that sounded cooler, but we all, after school, said, we're going to go to the skate shop and we're going to watch this video, and it was back then VHS taping. And I remember that video kind of defining us and helping us feel relevant in a world that we didn't necessarily feel relevant, if that makes sense.
Right.
Skateboarding wasn't in the Olympics back then. I went to jail twice for skateboarding.
Really?
In a closed parking lot. So it was kind of a different world even than,
I'm trespassing right now as you're saying that and wondering if I'm going to get kicked out, so it's kind of poetic. I just wanted to interrupt you to say that real quick.
Yeah, that would be great.
And so that's cool. That's another thing that's interesting about, this generation. And like that, so back then it was skate shops. Like that, there would be VHS, and you'd pop in when it was my age, it wasn't necessarily the Search for Chin, but it was like CKY, it was Toy Machine, Jump Off a Building, it was the snowboarding videos, the 10 that kind of stuff. But and now they have just like internet, that like YouTube. Everyone's like, this is the cool thing that I wanted to tell you, if you didn't realize, is that something I learned recently is that this video and my other videos are being shown in one wheel shot. Like Wheel Fun Stuff could be playing this clip right now of us talking in the background, and they love the long form content because they're able to like play. It's not like there's a lot of like one wheel clips and whatever on Instagram, but they love this shit because like whatever, this and a new normal and whatever, they just have like a playlist going and it just rattles them off.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
that's something